All right. Well, it is now time for the next news story. Written by Jason Finelli over at GameSpot. Microsoft and Sony reach deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Days after defeating the FTC's challenge to its purchase of Activision Blizzard, and one day before its scheduled meeting with the UK CMA, Microsoft has reached an agreement with Sony to keep the Call of Duty franchise on PlayStation post-merger. Microsoft boss Phil Spencer announced the deal via Twitter, where he says the two sides have signed a binding agreement to keep the successful first-person shooter franchise coming to PlayStation consoles. We look forward to a future where players globally have more choice to play their favorite games, the tweet continued. The deal was struck days after a California judge ruled in favor of Microsoft against the FTC, which thwarted the Regulatory Commission's attempt to delay Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. An appeal filed by the FTC was also rejected. The FTC isn't the only government Microsoft has had to contend with, as the United Kingdom's CMA has also voiced its concerns as it reviews the terms of the deal. Microsoft is scheduled to meet with the CMA early this week. I believe that was last week, so it's already happened. And as far as I know, it ended with a delay, right? They're just postponing
They extended the deal,
extended
the time frame for the merger by like three months.
Okay. So that way the Microsoft and CMA could probably talk some more, I assume.
They're really confident about it too, because they added an extra $500 million in there.
Whoa.
If it doesn't go through, because it was $3 billion if the deal didn't go through the first time. Now if it doesn't go through, I think it's what, July, August, September.
Okay.
September, October. If it doesn't go in by then they have to pay Activision $3.5 billion instead of just a $3 billion.
Okay.
So they're probably going to have this wrapped up well before then.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so no further details on the Call of Duty deal with Sony, in particular its length, which is rumored in the past to be 10 years, have been made public. But the same of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft is expected to close as early as this week as a company. Okay, so this article is obviously written before the other stuff, because it says they're on the hook for $3 billion if it's not done by July 18th. Obviously, they got the extension, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess this is wild to me that it took so long to just...
It's a waste of time is what it is.
Is this like a full circle thing where like PlayStation was like, we want Call of Duty, and then it was like this thing where it's like, we don't need Call of Duty, and then it turned into like,
actually we do.
It was like a back and forth, hot and cold, and then finally it's like after months of waiting and probably lots of money spent, now all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we need it. All right, cool, we got the deal. Like now they've worked something out, but what a wild, like, this whole thing has been a stupid roller coaster ride, but especially this thing, like between Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer there. It's just like, come on guys, like, work this out, figure this out. Like,
you know what, I was hearing about this, that deal that they had is only for Call of Duty. Nothing else.
Dang.
So
like
essentially Sony might have just shot themselves in the foot, because now everything else in the Activision Blizzard catalog has the potential to be exclusive to the Xbox platform, which, to be quite honest with you, is kind of crazy.
One thing that's a huge library. It's just like,
it's massive. I hope so. I hope that Sony, played its cards right, because COD isn't going to be top dog forever. I doubt it's going to be top dog within this 10-year gap.
Oh no, yeah. I feel like, Warzone. That's the thing. It's hard to say, because Call of Duty as a game, I think, has dropped off as a singular titled experience has dropped off. But as a live service game, it's been given new life with Warzone. Like, Warzone is massive. Like, it brings, I was reading another article, it brings in billions of dollars. Like, was it a day or a week or something? I don't know. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money. So I could see, PlayStation, like, kind of, I could see this being a positive thing just because like, hey, let's at least keep Warzone on PlayStation, because because that's really the money maker in the long run, because any DLC and microtransactions, like PlayStation will get a cut of that, even though it's an Xbox game, they'll still get a cut of that because it'll be out through their store and stuff like that. But man, yeah, like you mentioned that though, like that means imagine future Crash Bandicoot games not coming to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Spyro games not coming to PlayStation. I'm just scrolling through some of their games. Sekiro, I don't know if there'll be another Sekiro sequel or something like that, but Diablo, like Diablo 4.
Diablo 5, yeah.
Well, Diablo 4,
5.
I guess Diablo 4 is already out, but yeah, Diablo 5, if that ever comes, like not coming, like, oh man, Tony Hawk franchise.
Dude, think about
Overwatch,
this.
all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Whoop-de-doo, Overwatch.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, woohoo. Check this out. What if by some happenstance, this is what I would do if I was running the show. I would take World of Warcraft and I would bring it to Xbox. So it'd be the first time ever it's going to be on a console. But as long as you sign up for Xbox Game Pass, you don't have to pay the subscription for it.
Wow. I think they'd lose a lot of money.
You think so? I think the
WoW
money they would gain is subscribers.
WoW subscriptions are expensive. Like
but that same amount of money goes into Game Pass.
Right, but then yeah, but I guess like my thought is yeah, that's interesting. I don't
and then all you see is Game Pass subscribers go way up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. I guess my only hesitation
That'd be a huge hook.
Yeah, my only hesitation of that is because and the reason I said like, they might lose money on that because like a Game Pass PC subscription is only $10.
Mm-hmm.
And that $10 needs to be split up amongst hundreds of games on the service. Where right now, paying $10 to $15 a month for WoW, it just goes to WoW, So you're right, they'd get a lot more subscribers, but like again, that $10 suddenly has to be split up amongst hundreds of games on the service, kind of thing. So that's my like.
I mean, the amount people pay already now has to do the same thing.
Right, but not a lot of franchises are the juggernaut that WoW is. Like, there's such a huge player base on WoW. Like, my thought is, like, they could be collecting both. Like, why wouldn't they keep it separate? Just like, hey, because, again, like, a lot of those PC players, like, if they're super into WoW, they're going to have a WoW subscription. And if Game Pass really is the juggernaut streaming service that it is, or not gaming service that it is, like, they're going to have a Game Pass subscription. Like, in my if I was running it, I'd keep it separate. You're like, hey, just because they're gonna double down. They're gonna double up on subscriptions. I think. You're like, so I guess it depends.
Well, my only question is, how does that?
I don't know.
Are they just what?
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I said my only question is, okay, we put WoW on there. How does that move Game Pass subscriptions though? Because this whole acquisition, in the long run, is to get people into the ecosystem, right? So if I take it and put it on Xbox and people buy it one time and they never do anything again, we only make that little bit of profit that one time. So how do I keep people invested in the long run? I guess, yeah, the subscription goes to us directly now, but that doesn't really count. That doesn't show investors growth in the Game Pass platform.
So this just popped in my head. I just remembered this when Xbox, because Xbox currently has a partnership with Riot. When they did the Riot partnership, you get, like in League of Legends, you get all the champions unlocked for free. You get a bunch of bonus stuff in Heroes of the Storm. You get a bunch of, or not Heroes, that's Blizzard. What's Valorant? Oh, that's what it is. You get like a bunch of operators
Dota?
And stuff in Valorant. You know, no, Dota, that's Steam. That's Valve. But yeah, so
that's right.
But in League of Legends, yeah, you get all the champions. In Valorant, you get all the heroes or whatever they're called. Like, basically it just gives you free unlocks. So I think they could do something like that where, hey, sign up and maybe you get, maybe you don't get a free subscription, but you get the newest expansion.
Expansions?
Because like every couple of years they come out with a new expansion for WoW. Like maybe you get the access to the new expansion, or
what if you get the back catalog of expansions?
That too.
What if you just get expansions for free as long as you have it?
That's what I was thinking. Like you still have to pay the subscription, but you get all the expansions for free or something if you have Game Pass. Like it's just a perk of having Game Pass or something like that. Like I could see them doing something like that. Keep the subscription separate, but by signing up, it's similar to the Riot deal where it just gives you like, instead of having to grind out, because in League of Legends, like, oh, normally you have to grind hundreds of hours to unlock every champion, or you just pay $10 a month and I could get them all unlocked for free immediately. So it's like something like with WoW, where you get all the previous expansions and maybe new ones just by having a subscription with them. Oh man, like, because normally it's $30, I think, or I forget how much.
At least 20, right? 20 to 30 per expansion.
I got. I think. Let me look. How much?
And there's been a gang of them, so that's at least what, $200 that you'd have to pay to get all the expansions. So if somebody were to stay on for the life of the game to make up that same amount of cost at $10 a month, that's what, at least a guaranteed year and a half of subscriptions.
But what I was thinking though is, because even if you have a subscription, you don't get the new expansion. It's still like, it's either $30 or it's 60. I don't remember. But either way, normally it's a one-time payment of, let's just say it's $60, where if you have them on the hook for every, because expansions come out every couple of years, 2 years at $10 a month, that's 100. So you've made double your money. So you're giving them a quote unquote free expansion, but really they paid double the amount for it. So it's like, yeah, that's how I would do it right there. Like, keep the subscription separate and just give away your expansions for free if you have a Game Pass subscription. Boom. There you go, Xbox. You're welcome.
Well, there it is.
I just made you double the money on Blizzard.
They already look. No. They thought about this before they even before the ink is dry. Okay, This is happening. If I thought about it, somebody at Microsoft definitely thought about it.
You never know.
And you know what though? This would be a good answer for them. I mean, because Sony has Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation, so this would be a good answer for them to that.
Xbox doesn't have Final Fantasy 14?
No, they never brought it.
Whoa, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, There you go. Bring WoW to console and then just give out those expansions for free. People will be losing their minds. Or we
solved it.
You're welcome, Phil. All the PC purists really will be losing their minds. They'll be furious. Like, what are you doing? Bring it over to console. You can't do that.
Also, I want to start ringing the alarm now. BattleNet is going away.
I hope so.
BattleNet is absolutely going away, and all the games are going to just be available through the Xbox store or whatever. However, some kind of launcher that they're going to make, or they're just going to port them over there, and it's going to be either there or it's going to be on Steam, because Blizzard games are already going to Steam. So, yeah, BattleNet is gone. It'll be gone within the next maybe 3 years. They'll transfer whatever purchases and unlocks that you have. It'll migrate over to your Xbox account, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly, like, I wouldn't mind that. One less launcher on my computer would be fantastic. I would love that. Oh man. All right.
They'll tell you like a year in advance too, so you can get everything all wrapped up.
Yeah.
And they'll give you a year to transfer all your stuff, and then once that switch turns off, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Done deal. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.